Now refuge.
Tengo que buscar a Rinpoche ahora para poderlo poner en el spotlight de nuevo.
In Spanish or in?
No, in Tibetan.
Tibetan.
Wait, but I need to.
Dangi chudam soki chonam chanju pardu dani gyabzu dangi chenin gibe sunam gi dola penje zangi rubar jo zangi chudam
sogi chonam
chanju pardu
dani
dani
gyabzu
dangi
Yingsogi persona
Drola
penche
sangye
rupacho
sangye
dangye
chudam
chodan
sogi
chonam
chanju pardu dani
dani
gyabzu
gyapsuchi
dangi jinzogi besunam Drola penche sangye rubar
Gloria, recuerda grabar.
Sí, estoy grabando.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to turn the translation module on right now. So give us a couple minutes and we'll be ready to start with you, okay? Gloria, me avisas.
Sí, tengo que poner las personas en... Okay, Alberto, you should have the command to...
I have my command ready.
Los que necesiten traducción en español, por favor, pasen en la bolita del mundo de esa interpretation, pasan a español. Los que no, pues se quedan con Rinpoche en inglés. Okay, Rinpoche, we're ready for you.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
So, very happy to share this opportunity with all of you, particularly Ganden Shituling, and also in South America. Maybe we have met sometime, maybe we haven't met in this life, or maybe we will going to meet in this life. So however, I think we are all here for Dharma. We are all here to kind of sharing, participating spiritual practice. And due to pandemic, we are in different reality, different world. It have a difficult aspect, but also it have something beautiful aspect, such as now we have we can connect through this platform and have access to any kind of teaching. And in one way, this is really wanting something that positive. Now, I think in, of course, early time, there's no technology, but there's in a practice they call Chujingitingism. Chujingitingism is like concentration, roughly translation. Samadhi, the concentration of a continuity of a dharma. And this is some, practice ancient time. Practitioners, they achieve this samadhi, this concentration strength, and then it's like a zoom. They can connect the teachings of the Buddhas and Bodhisattva all around the universe. It's kind of practitioners have that kind of capability, and this samadhi called Chujingitingism, it's almost like, I feel like, in technology today, once you have the link, and then you can, then of course you need to have the internet, and then you can have a connection. But in ancient, I mean, like in today's must be, there's some practitioners who have achieved such a samadhi and able to connect the Buddhas and enlightened beings wherever the universe is much more powerful than our Zoom. So anyway, this kind of like positive, okay, in a way to be able to connect. And so the topic here today to do a Lamrim meditation, and today part of the scheduling, the fundamental study, part of that, and to lead three kind of classes for the small scope one, and medium scope one, and one for great scope. So I will trying to do my best, okay, and ultimately I rejoice for all of your inspiration for Buddha Dharma, and particularly our lineage masters and teachers. So their blessings, their presence of wisdom and compassion is still alive. So I want to remember, that's, I think, is very important. Sometimes we get caught into the individual's journey, but this spiritual journey is also individual journey, but due to the blessings of the lineage. So very important for us to remember our the teachers that we have received. Such as Geshe Sopa Rinpoche, Gedi Tsensho Rinpoche, and Ganden Rinpoche, so on and so forth. And of course, obviously, His Holiness Dalai Lama. So, so this will be is a guided meditation, Albert? Okay. Okay. So I will say this will going to have three kind of layers. You know, meditation's kind of like a part that we evolve three things. The first part is we need to settle our mind. We need to settle our mind and body through meditation posture, simple attention to our breath, and giving a time to settling our mind. That's the early part. And the second part will be, particularly in the Lamrim meditation, and traditionally, you have to have a presence of your lineage master in your, like can be visualization and can be like a heart feeling. That's have to be, that second part is that kind of we call merit field. Have to have that. And based on that merit field, the presence of the merit field and the blessings of the merit field, then you go through Lamrim meditation, your reflection. And basically what happened is this foundation of a merit field that you have kind of invoked it or visualized, this will be kind of your backbone into the meditation, for such as you go through this kind of like observation of your spiritual path, and then you're able to come back to the merit field and having that kind of taking a refuge. It's kind of inspiration, Lamrim inspiration developed. It's not so much about how I'm going to do this, how I'm going to realize this, how I'm going to feel this. It is so much combination of your inspiration opening with a merit field. And it is, we don't need to feel how I'm going to do this, how I'm going to fix my grasping of a permanent. I'm going to fix, not so much that keeping inspiration opening for the realization of impermanent, practice of refuge, cultivation of a conviction to the Buddha Dhamma Sangha refuge practice. And it's basically coming back to the refuge field and kind of, it's not so much like a driven, spiritual driven energy. It's not so much like that. It's much more opening in a kind of a surrendering and openness of your heart to the merit field, and same time you're having reflection of the Lamrim path. So that's the kind of like a, basically the actual meditation will go back and forth with the merit field and your Lamrim meditation. It's kind of like a, it need to be kind of like a, I would say blessing support for our own spiritual Lamrim journey. Okay, so that's the basically settling, merit field, and the Lamrim topic reflection. And today will be a small scope. Okay. So first, for settling our mind, I think the meditation posture very important. I will encourage all of you, trying to build your meditation posture. At this moment, kind of without having any kind of judgmental, or this is not right, just kind of gradually kind of awakening into the meditation posture, your body. And basically trying to creating this kind of like a balance of your low part of your posture, middle part of your body posture, upper part of your body posture. So there is something physically you're trying to creating this kind of harmonious and balance. And this mainly kind of bringing your attention to your postures from your, if you are in a cross leg, and then you kind of bringing your attention there, and without kind of judgmental, right or wrong, just kind of like a mind gradually kind of leading up to your, then to your spine, kind of gently creating that kind of balance and harmonious. And then your shoulder, bringing your attention to your shoulder. It's not just physically creating the balance. Much more important is the emotional balance related to your posture. And then gradually bringing up to your head, your eye, kind of having that kind of physically balanced, eased. And during this meditation posture observation, you have to have two elements. One element is not totally kind of relaxed and kind of no energy, but there is not intenseness, but at the same time it have some kind of grounding. So grounding and energeticness a little bit. So you're trying to find that balance into your meditation posture. It's not like totally relaxed, but it's not totally tense. Finding that balance. And ultimately, your mind plays a key role. If you notice any kind of tension, just acknowledge and trying to let go that tension. And as much ease your mind related with your meditation posture. If your mind is rushing for what is next and not trying to control, just acknowledge and then gradually bringing back to your attention to your meditation posture. And really pay attention. If mind is trying to analyzing, then you notice that and trying to ease and let go. And just basically mind is present, aware, pay attention for your posture, but not chasing for something next, or neither digging for paths and trying to be in present moment. by this silent of your posture, if you're losing the energeticness or alertness of your mind, then a little bit bring up your attention more stronger towards to your posture, just to that alertness to bring up. So finding that right balance, grounded and alertness of your mind while being in the present moment. Then gradually that attention kind of getting to next level, a little bit more subtle, pay attention into that silent, inner silent and the external silent. If there's a distractions comes up, different things, just be a patient, observe, not follow, and they will settle gradually. Now then gradually coming back your attention, instead of bringing attention to your inner silent, maybe this time going to bring back to your meditation posture, bringing back your attention to your meditation posture. Okay. So this as just as a kind of like a grounding and preliminary. Okay. So when you're doing, today we are doing in a group as a kind of like orienting, but when you have your time, I think it's really important that basically when you're doing this kind of like a settling, yes, you're trying to grounding. Usually what happens is that your mind becomes kind of like a non-alert. And sometimes we get kind of that was quite good and kind of some space. But the long term, for short period of time is okay, but if you're doing daily based meditation, then you won't stay too long into that space of absence of reaction. But you need to kind of non-reactive, but also alertness. And same thing today we did with the meditation posture, but you can do also with your breath. When you're bringing your attention to your breath, again, same thing, through that attention, bringing to your breath, you grounding. Then is important to not to also losing the alertness, but also important not to get distracted. Sometimes alertness kind of takes off and becomes too aware and too get distracted. So meditation is all about keeping a balance between grounding and alertness. So that's the kind of like the preparation for your meditation. That's the kind of like a fundamental strength. Okay, so with even not just pay attention for the breath, but not just grounding into the awareness of your breath, but the energeticness. There is some kind of tinge of energeticness, alertness that you have to find, okay? Okay, and now maybe we can try one more time with our breath to settling and grounding, okay? Based on your meditation posture. Don't rush. Just create that physical balance, meditation posture balance. Then gradually bringing your attention to the sensation of your breath. Then gradually let going your attention to your breath and just abiding that inner silence, whatever level of silence and peace you're able to create, just bringing awareness to that. And then gradually coming back your attention to your breath and sensation of your breath. And then just release your meditation posture and all your attention, just trying to kind of like relax a little bit. And this transition from very active mind to very ungrounded mind to now grounding, settling, that kind of balance. But then now based on this inner quality, now next will be generating the positive motivation. So through the state of this very positive and balanced awareness, and then gradually now until now, all of my actions of a body, speech, and mind are run by egotistical, self-cherishing thoughts. The result is a cycle of suffering, chain reactions. So today now, kind of, I want to change my old habits and creating positive new habit. And here, first thing, all my energy of a body, speech, and mind, I want to transform to path to liberation of all sentient beings. Even a contrived level, we just kind of like put that awareness there, that expression there. Then today, this Lamrim meditation also may become and dedicating for liberation and freedom of all sentient beings. It's not about me how to get realization, but I want to doing this for purpose of benefiting sentient beings. So this motivation and also may I be blessed by Buddhas and Bodhisattvas to succeed all this my positive motivation. In this moment, based on a positive motivation, this moment, invoking or visualizing the merit field, the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. In the nature, wisdom and compassion, in aspect, in a different manifestation. So when you have this kind of like a feeling of a merit field, really trying to pay attention for the quality, the nature, and then don't worry, the aspect. Most important is the nature, the essence, which is the wisdom and compassion. And also feel presence of a Buddha and Bodhisattva in front of your space. Based on that, receiving blessings, purifying the obstacles. You can visualize light and nectar touching your body, speech, and mind. And based on this receiving blessing, then making your own kind of spiritual expression. May all the obstacle to realization of a Lamrim path may be purified. And receiving the strength and blessings. These are this kind of heartful requests, expressions of our own intuition. This is important, related with the merit field. Based on this request, you can imagine all the Buddhas become in an aspect of your guru, your teacher, your spiritual mentor, and feeling of presence on your crown, being kind of like being there as your support for spiritual journey. It's almost like the kind of like a coach who are trying to be next to the athletic. You know, there's this kind of full trust each other. So journey to Lamrim meditation kind of carry on devotion, not based on a self-driven energy. So at this moment, with the merit field, with a your spiritual mentor, the guru, into your crowd, is this kind of tremendous devotion and openness and the trust and the conviction. And based on this mind, and then you gradually kind of get into the Lamrim meditation. And this transition is very important. It's not about planning. It is a journey taken by the faith and conviction. It's not about analyzing. The journey was taken by the trust. So some sort of devotion element you created based on the merit fields and the guru at your crown. And that support, that blessing. And then through the state of this heart feeling, not intellect feeling, heart feeling, not nature of a fear, is nature of a courage. So in the Lamrim meditation, this is very important. This feeling, devotion, this sense of feeling of blessed. This sense of feeling of fortunate. And this heart feeling. Then through state of this, then you can gradually go into the this life and the future lives, all the positive realization on the spiritual path is the dependent origination of the spiritual mentor, the Guru devotion. And establishing the subtle cause and conditions is to where we keep this connection and devotion. And then there's a sense of conventional perceptions are as a conventional reality. There is an unconcordance of appearing in existence. And you want to transform our vision of a reality as a still need to take a journey. And however, the lineage, the spiritual mentor, is the subtle dependent origination for awakening our spiritual journey of this life and future life. So at this moment, may I able to carry on this kind of opening heart and courage and strength. And may I be blessed by the lineage. All the obstacles may be purified through the blessings of the lineage. In this moment, you can imagine and visualizing nectar and blessing kind of touching your body, speech, and mind, and conventional perceptions. You are not trying to ignore, but you're not trying to follow. And at the same time, your awareness have an infinite journey with an open heart, with the blessings of the lineage. And that kind of a dependent origination is not necessarily our conventional mind can describe and analyze and dissect. However, keeping your heart open, now based on this kind of like a first things, Lamrim, the Guru devotion, then next will be now again kind of come to the precious human rebirth. At this moment, such a feeling of a rare opportunity to having this human rebirth. And also, if we lose our attention, we might waste this best opportunity. We may lose this best opportunity. We have a potential to awakening our realization. Now, in the past, we have waste and lose lots of this precious opportunity. Now, kind of keeping in our mind. Now and future will be really pay attention for our time, not get waste and lost by distractions, and able to utilize this precious human rebirth to maximum its own potential. Then also trying to reflect, may I be blessed by Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, by the lineage, to actualizing this precious human rebirth's potential. And you also visualize the nectar and blessings receiving from the merit field and the purifying all the negativity and the distractions and the conditions that waste our precious human existence. And all the positive and suitable condition kind of restoring and strengthening. And this life have a getting close every moment to impermanent, getting close to transitioning from this life to future life. So, time of death, we want to seem to able to carry our journey through trust, faith, devotion, and this critical time of death, the spiritual refuge will be there, going for refuge for Buddha Dhamma Sangha. So as a future transition from this life to future life, only can guarantee for us by the practice of refuge. So now I will go refuge now to prepare when the time comes, when the transition from this life to future life only can protect is the practice of refuge. So here, so I go refuge to Buddha Dhamma Sangha now. Then not only that, while I am alive in this life, there is the life that out of my conventional practical awareness. And such a time, also I will take a refuge for Buddha Dhamma Sangha. The only way to cross through that unknowing reality is just taking a refuge to Buddha Dhamma Sangha. Even while I'm alive, only way to cross the state of a fear is going for refuge to Buddha Dhamma Sangha. So your refuge is the only savior for any challenge while we're alive or time of transition from this life to future life. So here, one thing that I have, and I'm proud, you need to feel that I have this trust and conviction and refuge to Buddha Dhamma Sangha. The practice of refuge is my companion for this life, in a future life, in the Bardo. The practice of refuge is the only ultimate, my friend, who will be there when desperate, when I am desperate. So my ultimate friend, my ultimate refuge. So based on those reflections, feeling the strength of myself by going for refuge, Buddha Dhamma Sangha. And at this moment, again, through the merit field, blessings and nectars, to any kind of obstacle for practice of refuge is purified and re-strengthening your practice of refuge. That kind of visualization you can do, like nectar and light you're receiving. And then to follow up the practice of a refuge, that I need to pay attention over my body, speech, and mind. Mindfulness of a body, speech, and mind. So at this moment, cultivating the inspiration to generating and maintaining the mindfulness over my body, speech, and mind. And any kind of obstacle and hindrance to interrupting that kind of mindfulness and maintaining that mindfulness may be purified. In this moment, you can again do same thing like before, from the merit field, receiving blessings and nectars, any kind of obstacle to interference or mindfulness of the body, speech, and mind, and purifying and strengthening the blessings of the, strengthening the mindfulness. And through this mindfulness, Then you have engaging into the virtue karma and avoiding the negativity karma. And that kind of like discipline and the mindfulness, maybe strength. And based on that, again, you can do the receiving nectar and blessings from the merit field and strengthening your faith into the karma of your body and speech and mind. Then gradually moving to ultimately, due to the habit, constantly falling into the accumulation of a negativity karma. So over here is engaging into the practice of a purification. And in this moment, kind of re-strengthening our mindfulness and reviewing our negativity habits and the karma. And non-things are justified. And not based on a feeling of a guilty, just there's a feeling of a self-compassion. Sense of willing to move forward with a positive attitude. And based on that, cultivating inspiration, practicing into the Po Ponena power, purification practice. At this moment, reawakening your trust and faith towards the merit field and awakening your bodhicitta motivation and loving kindness for sentient beings. And based on this, you can also receive blessings and nectars to strengthen your faith and devotion to the merit field and your loving kindness for sentient beings. Then the next ones, generating self-forgiveness, just to reviewing negativity karmas that I have accumulated. In this term, when we say regret, it's not sense of a guilty feeling, but it is much more acknowledgement and awareness and sense of willing to moving forward and forgive. At this moment, feel the presence of the merit field and receiving nectar and blessings. And the merit field, the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas are with you. And based on that, receiving nectar and blessings and strengthening that courage mind. Then gradually moving yourself, the self who are trying to forgive doesn't exist intrinsically. The forgiveness itself doesn't exist intrinsically. Whatever situation you're trying to forgive doesn't exist intrinsically. And the world around us doesn't exist intrinsically. All are momentary, impermanent, like our intrinsic existence, just exist by dependent origination, just like an energy flow. Cultivate that awareness. And that wisdom. And again, receiving nectars and blessings to furthermore deepening that wisdom. And all the ignorance, the view of intrinsic, view of a permanent, myself and the world around me, that view purifying by the blessings. Then through the state of that kind of a blessings and awareness, then gradually there's a sense of a resolution that in this moment, creating this resolution of a strong determination of a mindfulness of a body, speech, and mind. And then you can make a strong request to the merit field, receiving blessings. May I able to cultivate mindfulness of a body, mindfulness of a speech, mindfulness of mind, without controlling, a sense of ease with awareness. And imagining and visualizing nectar and blessing you're receiving, and strengthening your mindfulness, much more grounded, much more natural flow of a mindfulness of a body, speech, and mind. Now, in a short, at this moment, this precious life at the meantime is very fragile. And a way to survive is through the faith and devotion. And that faith of the devotion, awakening the mindfulness of our body, speech, and mind. And move on with the practice of a purification and merit accumulation. And this faith and devotion to the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, your practice of refuge. Any level of a fear and anxiety when I face while I'm alive, I will go for refuge to Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. When time of a transition from this life to future life, there can be tremendous anxiety can happen, but the way to transform is just going for refuge to Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. And that kind of total openness and the trust. Source of our security in a spiritual journey, even in conventional journey, the practice of refuge, making our life meaningful and able to overcome from the obstacles, going for refuge. And once we feel stuck, not able to move forward, then going for refuge for Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. So feeling this kind of quite simple, straightforward, less egotistical, reducing ego-driven, and constantly landing into the practice on refuge. When joyful happens, we're going to land into the practice of refuge. When fearful happens, we'll land into the practice of refuge. Ultimate source of protection, source of inspiration, for this life, for transition for this life, and also in the parto in the future life. Based on these convictions at this moment, from the merit field, visualize the nectar and blessing you receive, and re-strengthening these convictions. Then at this moment, gradually all the merit fields, all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and all the lineage kind of gradually dissolves into yourself. And sense of feeling of a blessed, your body, speech, and mind. And based on this sense of feeling, then gradually coming back to just bringing your attention to your posture. And then through this, just abiding into this silent. And then bringing your attention to your gradually back to your breath, little while. Okay. So this kind of little bit kind of foundation when you're doing Lamrim meditation is very important. It's not just kind of thinking and thinking and thinking. It is much about, it's not about solving the problem. It is opening our heart to solving the problem. It's not about generating the realization. It is all about opening our heart for awakening the realization. It's not trying to control the realization. So it is a Lamrim meditation have to be something much more emotional. It is a personal, spiritual, non-controlling. It's like a based on a merit field, the blessings and the openings. It's so much collecting your subtle cause and conditions. It's not by applying our analytical mind and trying to figure it out. We can figure it out, but doesn't happen. So it is really important. So going back to the point, settling, grounding, then having this object of a merit field, and then based on that, you move back and forth. You're taking refuge. You cultivate this awareness. You're not trying to control. You allow to able to cultivate awakening those realizations based on the blessings of the merit field. And this method is a method of a karmically how to work in spiritual journey. So that's important. Okay. Thank you. Is a hour and a half, huh, Alberto? Yeah, that's good. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Thank you.
In the future, if there's any, today we went through one kind of process.
Hoy fuimos a
Now,
través de un proceso.
so if anybody have a question, maybe I'll
Si hubiese preguntas,
and maybe if you can send to me, and then maybe next
Yo se las
session,
envío,
we
me
can-
las
we
envío,
can
las
kind
pueden
of-
poner en el chat y yo se las envío a Rinpoche.
yeah. Otherwise, I don't know where you are and
De
where you
otra forma, no
start.
sé dónde
So
están,
some interaction would be good.
pero sería bueno tener algún tipo de interacción.
And then my deep rejoice for all of you
Así que mi regocijo por
practicing
todos ustedes,
you
por sus
know,
prácticas,
Buddha Dharma individually and as a
sus
community
prácticas de Buda
wherever
Dharma,
you
tanto
are,
individuales
in Puerto Rico, in
y
Mexico,
donde quiera que estén, ya sea en Puerto
in
Rico,
Chile or
en
wherever.
Chile, donde
Yeah.
quiera que estén, me regocijo por sus prácticas
My deep prayer and dedication,
y dedico de manera muy profunda
all your practice to
para que su práctica
flow, naturally
Flo-
flow.
fluya
And wherever you are, I think is important to
y
having
que donde quiera que estén,
community.
es
You know, whatever,
importante el sentido
something
de
that can,
comunidad,
support each other. So that's really important.
de manera que puedan apoyarse mutuamente.
Okay. Okay, so that's my short Lamrim meditation.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Okay,
So, can you help us dedicate Rinpoche?
sure.
Okay, let us present the text so that we can all
Los
follow.
nombres, no los nombres. We're gonna read the names.
We're going to read the names of
Okay, yeah, we're gonna read the prayer list first.
the prayer list for those who have asked for due to any health problem or other problems and those going through the battle. Alida Carranza Castillo, Israel Labrego Carranza, Jessica Ruiz, Tim Ojowski, Edna Acosta y familia, el padre Grace Molineri, Evelyn Toledo, Cuca Vélez, Denis Devor, Niño Amir, Ivonne Villafañe, Jorge O'Neill, Iram Collazo Rodríguez, Luis Alberto Ortiz Cartagena, Luis Pablo Rodríguez, Ana Schmidt, Magalis Fleitas Trujillo, Reinaldo Irizarry, Roy McGrath, y aquellos for those going through the battle, Albert Rodríguez, Steve Mond, Ramón Carrión, Yolanda Nieves de García, Estela Niño de Navarro, Salvador Cheo Sánchez, Valentín López Llamas, Alicia Serrano, la madre de Gloria Montano, Lourdes Nieves, Ricardo Juan Morales Vales, Hilda Doris Torres, Miraida Chávez, Pedro Hernández, Eric Rosa, Andrea Ruiz Costas, Keishla Rodríguez Ortiz y Carlos Romero Barceló.
Now I'm gonna share the prayer list, the dedication. Se ve, ¿verdad, Alberto?
Se ve,
Ok,
estamos en refugio.
sí,
Ahora, okay.
dale. Alberto.
So, Rinpoche, can you help us,
Okay.
please?
We're doing it together.
Ingevadi nyurdu da lama sangye drunjurne drowa
Jikyan malu
Te
Desa
salang
Chanchu
Sencho Rinpoche
Maya
Ke Mage
Nampai Mumpai Yang Gong Ne Gong Lu Pe Wa Sho
Tuzum sheben gyawa tanje Owa kanla chodo ngaba Dagin geven zawandi gung Sangbo jujerado
Lo vamos a hacer por la larga vida de los maestros, empezando por su santidad el Dalai Lama. En la tierra rodeada por montañas de nieve, eres la fuente de toda felicidad y bondad. Todopoderoso Sherresi Tenzin Gyatso, por favor, permanece hasta el final del samsara. Y por la larga vida de nuestro maestro Yangsi Rinpoche, con mucho agradecimiento y mucho amor, Madre Tare, liberando del samsara, tú Tare, liberando de los 8 temores. Tara, Madre que libera, por favor, otorga el don de la longevidad. Por las bendiciones de los gurús raíz y del linaje, por los logros espirituales de los Jidam, dioses y diosas, por los métodos hábiles de las Dakinis y los protectores del Dharma, que podamos realizar gozosamente la esencia de nuestras esperanzas. Gendun Tenzin, eres afable, benevolente y bondadoso. Por favor, permanece con nosotros durante una larga vida. Expande tus actividades iluminadas en todas las direcciones y continúa madurando y sustentándonos a mí y a todos los seres sintientes. Desde este momento y durante todas nuestras vidas, manténnos bajo tu tutela. Sé nuestro amigo, nuestro divino y virtuoso guía. Limpia la degeneración de la ignorancia. Ayúdanos a realizar rápidamente nuestro recorrido por los senderos y caminos y alcanzar los 3 cuerpos de un Buda. Por la verdad de la realidad incambiable y por la bendición conjunta del indestructible Sangha, que la esencia de estas oraciones se logre rápidamente.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rinpoche.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you,
Rinpoche, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Have a good
We'll-
evening.
Thank you so much.
And we'll see you again next Tuesday.
Next week. Yes. yes.
Thank you, Rinpoche.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Rinpoche.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rinpoche.
Thank you. Good night to all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Rinpoche.
Thank you.
Gracias, Rinpoche.
Take care.
Gracias, Rinpoche.
Gracias.
Ya se nos fue.
No fue. Lo fueron.
Bueno.
Lo fueron.
Sí.
Lo fueron.
Se fue.
Ay, qué bueno.
Muy hermoso, Alberto, muy hermoso todo.
De verdad, gracias a todos. Y Gloria y José, gracias un millón. Linda por la preparación de las listas. Normita, ¿quién fue la otra?
Mira,
Ay, Minelena, gracias un millón por su mandala y por la presencia. Tuvimos en un momento dado 107 personas sin contar los dobles.
Sí.
Wow.
Así que
Oh, qué bien.
fue una noche súper exitosa. Rinpoche está sumamente contento, lo sabemos.
Gracias a todos y buenas noches.
Gracias a todos. Gracias a todos.
Gracias.
Bendiciones.
Gracias a todos.
Gracias.
nos vemos martes.
Gracias. Buenas noches.
Gracias, muchas gracias por la invitación de
Al
Chile.
contrario, qué bueno que nos pudo acompañar
Estaremos presentes el próximo martes.
el próximo martes aquí.